Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. For today's tutorial, I'm going to be recreating a look I posted on my Instagram page not too long ago. It's this one right here. A lot of you guys left comments asking if I had a tutorial for this look and how was I able to achieve such a natural looking contour. So today I'm going to do exactly that, and hopefully by the end of it you guys will be able to achieve a natural looking contour yourselves. So if you want to see how I created this look, keep on watching. We're going to start off by applying our foundation first. I'm going to be using a very light to sheer coverage foundation versus a medium to full coverage. The reason for that is because when you do a cream contour, you're going to be adding a lot of product to the skin. So I like to start off with a very minimal coverage foundation because I don't like it to look like a lot at the end. For today, I'm going to be using MAC's Face and Body Foundation. This is an all-time favorite foundation of mine. It's a water base and it's just a very light coverage. It's just going to give the appearance of a more even skin tone, and it's going to give you a very dewy finish. Because this foundation is so light, I definitely recommend applying it with your fingers because using any sort of tool like a sponge or a brush will absorb a majority of the product. Applying it with your fingers will allow the product to warm up and adhere to the skin a little bit better. For our contour, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Cream Contour Kit in Light. I'm going to be mixing the shades Vanilla and Banana for my highlight. And my secret for a natural looking contour, because I know that was you guys' main question when you saw the photo, was how did I get it to look so natural? I take the cream and I warm it up on the back of my hand before applying it to my face to give it a more natural finish. A lot of times I see people take the product straight from the palette and apply it to their skin with a beauty blender or with a brush, and that just gives it the same consistency as in the palette. When you warm it up on the back of your hand, it almost breaks the product down and gives it more of a natural finish. So that's my little secret to working with like a heavier cream contour. As you guys can see, when I take the product and apply it to the back of my hand and warm it up, it starts to form a much more dewy finish. So I like to do this so that it glides onto the skin better, it looks a little more natural, and just looks like skin. Then when I take the creams and go and apply them to my face, I warm them up on those areas as well before I go in with a beauty blender or brush and blend them out. I'm not going to highlight this area of my face just yet, and in a moment you'll see why I do that. Now I'm going to use a beauty blender to blend out the highlight before adding the contour. Almost forgot the Cupid's bow. Now that we have blended out the highlight, I'm going to do the exact same thing with the contouring shades, and I'm going to take a little bit of the medium shade and the dark shade, warm it up on the back of my hand, and then apply it to my skin. The only thing I will say about the Anastasia Cream Contour Kit is that I do wish the contour shades were a little bit more on the cool side and a little more taupey. They are very warm, but we're going to balance it out by adding a more taupey and more cool toned powder to set it, so don't worry about that. I'm going to be using the Sigma P88 brush to apply my contour, so I'm a little more precise with it and I don't get too carried away. So the reason I didn't add any highlight to this area is because now I'm going to go in with the Sigma F65 brush and apply the highlight to that area to give a more sharpened and defined looking cheekbone. Using this brush from MAC, I don't know the name of it because it has worn off at this point. I'm going to use this to blend out the contour. I'm going to spritz it with Fix Plus to give the contour a little more mobility and make it easier to blend. As I'm blending out the contour, I'll go back in and pick up more of that highlighting shade to line areas that might look a little too dark and make it look a little more natural. Once you have blended out that contour with the brush, go back in with your beauty blender and just pick up any excess product to ensure that it doesn't look heavy, and making sure that there's no brush strokes and that everything's really even. To set the highlight, I like using a translucent powder to not add any more coverage or any more color to my skin. So I'm going to be using a translucent illuminating setting powder from FX. It doesn't actually look like this. This is just me taking out of the big containers so I don't have too much stuff all over my plate. And as mentioned earlier, I'm going to be using a more cool toned powder to set our contour. So for that, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Contour Kit in the powder form, and I'm going to be using this shade right here, and I'm going to apply it with the Sigma F05 brush. I'm going to use a smaller brush to set the contour on my nose so I can be a little more precise. This is the Sigma E35 brush, and I'm going to use that exact same powder. And really quickly, I'm going to add some color to this look so you guys can see the final product. I'll see you guys in a bit. I went ahead and added a little color so you guys could see what the contour looks like when it's all put together. I added Anastasia Shadows Penny Metal and Beauty Mark to my eyes along with some mascara. I of course filled in my brows. I added a blush highlight, and the lip color is actually the new Anastasia Liquid Lipstick in the shade Craft. In the photo I had previously posted, the lip color I had on was Dose of Colors Bury Me. The colors are very similar, but I just recently got this guy in the mail and I was so excited I had to put it on. Hopefully those of you who saw the photo of this look not too long ago will now be able to replicate it on your own. Just a few things to remember when applying a cream contour. If you're working with a heavier cream, make sure to always warm it up on the back of your hand before applying it to your skin to just ensure a more natural finish, and of course, blend as much as possible. As always, make sure you guys leave me a comment below on what you guys would like to see next, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!